This build does not need a fancy intro because it is straightforward. We're showing you how to build a PC for under 350 bucks that is a custom build and it will play any game at 1080p.
And it's very easy for you guys to copy at home if you know one strategy to look for when shopping for used parts, and we'll talk about that after a word from today's sponsor.
Hey Matt, are you building a gaming PC in 2026?
Yeah, even though PC parts are very expensive right now, you can actually save a lot of money on your Windows activation to get good price like
How? Isn't it like $200 for Windows?
Not with today's video sponsor, GVGMall. They're our go-to option when activating Windows on any gaming PC.
Oh duh, GVGMall. You just use the link in the description down below, pick your version of Windows, and then add it to the cart.
Be sure to use our exclusive discount code TB20 to save 25% off your Windows license purchase, which will get your cost down to $26.
So once you purchase your key, the code is then digitally sent to you, and then all you have to do is go into your settings, find the activation settings, and then copy and paste your Windows key, and then boom, it's activated.
The big things get at GVGMall for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's dive back into it, shall we?
Now, by the way, this is the giveaway PC. Our last build was $2,000. This one's like less than $350. The build itself is a very replicable build, and I actually picked out a combo for this, and we'll talk about it some more, but I even showed other combos to prove that we didn't just find some crazy one-off deal. You can find these combos, they get posted every single day to different platforms.
And if you guys are looking to build a PC like this, it's good to go in with the proper expectations. The GPU we went with is very good for esports titles and some AAA titles on lower details. You gotta be okay with some upscaling tech, whether that's FSR or any other upscaler that will work with this GPU, because it's not an RTX GPU. A little bit of hint on what we use for this build. If you do go into this build with those expectations, you'll be very happy with the results for $350. Let's not waste any more time and talk about those parts.
So to kick things off, we have a CPU motherboard RAM combo from the good old eBay. Now, McAllister's gonna show you guys on screen. There are other combos I found. I didn't just pick the first one I saw. I think at first I had like a 3600 combo and a couple other ones that I'm showing you guys here. But this one I felt like was the cheapest and the best bang for buck. And I paid a grand total of $90.43 for this combo, and it came with an i5-9400, which is just a 6-core, 6-thread processor, but it's not bad. It can still handle a graphics card like this perfectly. I would say this is actually a very balanced combo. Now, the other downside with it, because it was so cheap, RAM's really expensive. This is DDR4 RAM. I did end up getting only 2 4GB sticks that were included with it, and it is name brand. They're crucial, but it's 4GB DDR4, 2400 MHz. So this is gonna be fun. We're doing dual channel, but only 8 gigs. So I talked to Matt actually, now I'm remembering, we may install Sapphire OS or X-Lite, which is just Windows, but it's modified so it doesn't use as much RAM when you're in games and stuff. And then to basically end off the combo, it did come with a stock cooler, by the way, which we will not be using. We have this right here, a Gigabyte B310M S2 GSM motherboard. And once again, $90.43 for a CPU, RAM, and motherboard. That's actually pretty insane right now. And it even came with a IO shield. So I'm really happy with this one, and I'm genuinely curious how it's gonna perform, because these used to be near and dear to my heart. I really liked the 9th gen i5s and i7s. Now, once again, you could save money and just use the cooler that the combos come with. They almost always come with the cooler, like a stock cooler, but I feel like this build, because we're putting it in a new case, so it's gonna have some new flair to it. I bought this ID Cooling SC214 XT, and it's the V2, so a little bit cleaner looking. It's ARGB. Also, this case that you'll see is ARGB, so all the lights are gonna be synced up, all black, super sleek. It's gonna look really good, and this cooler is $18.99, so I just feel like for that extra money, the i5 really doesn't need it, but we will get a little bit more performance. It'll last longer, and it'll be quieter overall. Now, the SSD was kind of funny. Once again, eBay, guys. So good. I bought a used Gen 3 SSD. This is a 512 gig, and we ended up getting a Samsung SSD, and this eBay seller sells it as random brand. So basically, it's like $44.99, and they send you a random 512 gig. They're probably somebody who works at like a server company, if I had to guess, or system integrator, and they probably just pulled these out, and especially when they were cheap, they were probably just upgrading people like 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes. They had a bunch of these lying around. I'm glad we got a Samsung drive though, because they're kind of known as being one of the top dogs in the SSD market. And this one's actually from 09 of 2022, so it's really not that old of an NVMe either.
Now for the GPU, the graphics card we love to use for these budget builds, especially in 2026, the good old 1660 Super. The one we have right here is an MSI model, a 2-fan that looks pretty clean, requires an 8-pin for power, and comes with 3 DisplayPort and 1 HDMI. So pretty decent on the video out here. But the reason we like this graphics card so much is its very solid 1080p performance in esports titles and some AAA titles if you're okay using some FSR upscaling. The 6 gigs of VRAM will hold you back in some of the really VRAM hungry games, but if you run lower details, you should still be able to get away with some solid performance performance, and for a $350 PC and only paying $89 for this graphics card, you really cannot complain. You can spend a little more money to get the RTX 2060 to get ray tracing support, so you have better performance in those ray trace force titles, but if you're not really playing those, you're mainly playing esports titles, this GPU is a good option. Now, another way you can save money on your PC build is getting a case and power supply combo, and that's what we did here from Newegg with this Rosewill case and power supply combo. We'll talk about the power supply first. We have the good old V&G 650 80 plus gold power supply, which honestly on its own is a pretty good power supply. They go for around like $49 on average. This is a non-modular power supply, so you do have to deal with a little bit of cableage there, but honestly, considering it comes with this case for $90 all in, pretty good price performance. And the case itself is the FBM X6, which is a micro ATX case that comes with 4 RGB fans pre-installed. It does look like they are ARGB, which is really nice, so you can control these fans. They're not proprietary, and it has good ventilation in the front, good airflow overall, and a lot of room to build in. Our little tiny micro ATX board will fit very nicely in here, but it is roomy enough to, if you do upgrades in the future, or you're going with a slightly higher end build, the bigger GPU, this case will do just fine, and it really doesn't feel cheap at all. It feels pretty well put together, and for $90 altogether for the power supply and the case, that is really good value for the money. Rosewill is making some really good combos right now, and along with Raid Max, there's also some good options on Newegg, so if you're building a budget PC, be sure to check those out because you will save a good amount of money on your build. Once again, $350 after tax, a little bit below that pre-tax, you are getting a pretty good 1080p PC, but we have to build this thing and show you guys what it's capable of, and also, like we always do, show you guys what it's not capable of so you can be informed when building a PC like this for yourself. Let's go ahead and roll the build montage.
Alright guys, we are playing the new hit single player game Crimson Desert, and we're on a 1660 Super 9400. I actually don't know what the minimum spec for 1080p is. You wanna, would you mind? I'd love to see that because I feel like we're not there.
No, RAM, yeah, we're gonna see this with a couple of the AAA titles we tested. Let's see, Crimson Desert. Min specs. A lot of them, minimum specs they require, or what they say, 16 gigs of RAM, but that isn't actually the case here because we're running it with 8. It works.
We are on, what is it, X-Lite?
Yes, we are on X-Lite, which is saving some resources in the background. So minimum is a 2600X or 8500, so very similar in the CPU department. And then GPU is a 5500 XT or 1060. So I think the only thing that would keep us from not basically meeting the minimum spec is the RAM.
Yeah, and I mean, we're using all the RAM that we have. Our graphics card's maxed out. Just in case, I don't know if I feel like I didn't show you guys the settings. We're at 1080p, and we're in the low preset. There is lower stuff we can do. We are gonna try some upscaling too, because I'm actually curious to see what that'll do. I do like this feature though, instead because you can't skip. It's like no skipping. You have to
absorb the content, but you can do it faster. I'll pull one out from a
pouring one out.
Some Malort.
What was that? Was that Malort?
Yeah, it was Malort. You definitely pour out some Malort for the home.
I do like too that I really like games where you can switch between. I will say first person to me does not look great in this game.
You do have the page up working too, by the way.
Oh, cool. So let's try doing upscaling. So yes, we can do...
you have frame gen support.
Yep, upscale resolution, we'll run that at, let's just try performance. Let's try that first. There's another thing in this game that breaks. On AMD cards, if you turn on, it'll be AMD, it'll say, they have a different type of ray tracing. Like they call it like AMD.
This is the RSR?
Something like that. Yeah. It breaks the game. I tried that and I got like 2 FPS.
Oh, it's playable. It looks like booty. It's in frame gen.
I don't feel the frame gen. I think it's just the upscaling.
Yeah, it's just upscaling. But it's 60 now.
Yeah, 60 FPS. Oh, I didn't even turn on frame gen, did I?
No, you didn't. You just had upscaling.
Okay, let's try.
2 times frame gen.
2 times. That's
so
all we get.
If this works, you should be running around the 100 mark. The CPU is probably not going to. Oh goodness. I think it is adding a little
worse.
It does look a little worse. You could probably run frame gen with maybe like a lesser, like a more quality focused upscaling instead of going performance.
Yeah.
Because performance is you're basically running like below 720p.
It definitely doesn't look great. Okay, you see that player model looks a lot better off in the distance.
That looks a little better.
Nicer.
Yeah.
Let's go in here and do this little cutscene. Actually, wait, I forgot to go here.
Also, does the VRAM usage get any crazier in this game? You're only pulling 3.5 right now.
I don't know actually.
That's really
I never
low.
really paid attention. You know, new games, they're just optimized in different ways, sometimes stranger than others. But Crimson Desert, 1080p, playable on this hardware, so don't always trust what the people say minimum. They're just saying minimum to maintain like 60 constant with no upscaling typically. But hey, with and without upscaling, it's fairly playable like a console, I'd say.
So let's try Pragmata, another AAA title that seems to run pretty well and may run well in this hardware. All right, guys, we are now in Pragmata, which we're currently running on the following settings. What we call it, Pragmata?
Pragmata.
Pragmata. We're currently at 1080p, and we are running FSR 3 set to balance. So we have upscaling on. We don't have any frame gen on. Actually, we do have frame gen on. Let's turn that off, and we'll go back to frame gen here in a bit. But we're just running FSR 3 on balance and medium, low across the board. So nothing super crazy.
Would you see the VRAM?
Let's see.
It really shows we're using more than we have.
So yeah, we are exceeding it a little bit, which normally in a system with 16 gigs or whatever, normally not a big deal, but we are running, well, less RAM. So page filing that RAM might be interesting. We'll see how that holds up. We are just slightly above it though, so I don't think it'll be a problem.
Nah.
But frame gen is off, so let's go ahead and see what kind of FPS we're getting. And currently, 70 to 80 FPS.
This is actually like, it's kind of refreshing to do this because, you know, we always talk about like trash PCs, minimum specs, and you know, here we are playing Crimson Desert, Pragmata, 2 games that like people would consider to be pretty nice new AAA titles. And we're using 8 gigs of RAM with a 6 gigabyte graphics card.
And I definitely don't want to pass over the fact that there are some games out there that do run really poorly, even on higher end systems, because they're poorly optimized. Shout out to the developers for making these games run well, because that's ultimately what we want, is games that can run on budget hardware like this without having to have a 5090 or a high-end system. It's running surprisingly
And it actually
good.
it looks better than the last game.
Yeah, looks fine. Nothing crazy going on. But yeah, we're at the 1% low is below 60, so there is some slight stutter happening, but nothing insane.
And so the whole theme of this game is that the spaceship's pregnant, right?
Yeah, it's pregnant and you're trying to
extract the
You're
baby.
trying to do a C-section. That is exactly what's happening.
Is this frame gen off?
This is frame gen off. So frame gen on, we should be getting more than that by a decent amount. So this is a game you don't necessarily even need to run frame gen. You run these lower details with upscaling. You're getting a good playable experience. I'm hacking. I'm executing hacks. One more. Oh God!
Oh
God!
He pulled his sword out.
Pulled that sword.
He got that dangling on him.
And there we go. Like every time you finish fighting a wave, your guy's just like, oh my God, it's finally over. Oh my God, it's finally over. But this is running really good. Just for the sake of it, I will turn on frame gen because we do have that option. And if we're getting, this is like an example where running frame gen makes a little bit of sense because we're actually maintaining a solid frame rate already. You run some frame gen, which it doesn't tell you what version it is. I'm assuming it's just 2 times frame gen. You run some frame gen. If you have a higher refresh rate monitor, you can actually start to feel a little bit more smoothness.
Yeah, it really can be worth it in games like this where so far I just see smooth FPS. I don't see screen tearing. I don't see any weirdness in loading. If the system was lower spec, we'd probably see some weirdness with the AI frame gen.
But it's running good and it looks good and it's not too bad. Cool. Now let's try some esports titles, which could definitely be more CPU bound. Maybe our RAM configuration can have some issues there, but in terms of the higher end games where our GPU is clearly the bottleneck, 100% load on the GPU, it's looking pretty good.
Okay, so we're in Marvel Rivals. I can't tell if it's the RAM situation maybe, or if there's something wrong with like the game install, but we're running low settings, FSR set to balanced, no frame rate limit. And it's weird because it looks good. It looks like it should be playable, but we keep getting we had a crash once.
The CPU's at 100% too. I don't think it's redoing shaders because normally it would have a shader bar somewhere.
Right.
It could be a 6-core, 6-thread, just not happy with the esports title, because I guess in the other games we've been really pushing the GPU, so the CPU wasn't as big of a bottleneck. We are running lower details too, so. But honestly, our GPU is at 95%, so it's not like there's a ton of wiggle room to work with.
Ooh. Yeah,
Does it chill out at all?
Let's see what this. Oh my god, I'm just eating that. Okay, maybe this sounds fine. Maybe it's because I had an earphone off. It was weird. It's like I was only hearing myself and some characters talking. That was it. I didn't hear like gunshots or anything at first, but it seems fine. I don't think we're gonna leave our spawn though.
I think you're getting spawn stomped.
I think we are getting spawn stomped. Oh god, I'm low. Dude,
the team's just feeding straight to this. This is insane.
You guys want to? Oh, I was getting shot and I didn't even know, dude.
Oh no!
I literally couldn't even tell. Oh wait, we killed someone. Okay, and then there goes my guy.
Oh yeah, that lockup. Oh wait, you're not done yet.
We ain't over yet, boys.
I would imagine some of the stuttering too, you could cap the frame rate a little bit. Normally when you're CPU bound, if you cap it to like 70, 60 frames, maybe like 80, 90, something like that, you might not get those harsh stutters as much. I honestly went into this thinking to be significantly worse with 8 gigs of RAM.
Every game so far I thought would be worse.
It's significantly worse. It's actually running solid.
So are we just sissies? Like we don't even need 16?
Yep. All right. Here, all the updated build guys are gonna have 8 gigs of RAM now, guys. Here we go.
Hey, for $300 though, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
And also a variable we can't ignore is Windows X Lite. That part is probably a big variable too. It is helping a lot.
But I feel like, you know, anybody who only has 8 gigs and like a really low end budget like this, they're probably totally fine with doing whatever it takes to get good performance.
Yes.
You literally install it just like Windows, you know?
Which I don't think we've shouted out yet. We did a whole video testing these different versions of modified Windows, and we did on lower end systems and ones that are more mid-range. So if you guys want to watch that video, I'm in the top right corner.
Ooh, get him, girl. Get him, girl. Oh. Shield for my teammates. Anything for you guys. Oh, God. What if I ult you? Oh! Oh! I don't think I did anything with that. Uh-oh, I think we're about to lose. Sword. Sword. Sword.
Yes, sword. 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 GG's.
GG's. Well, Marvel Rivals, aside from, we had that one crash at the beginning, which you guys didn't see, and then the weird, like, where it was, maybe it was redoing shaders, because we did instantly rejoin. I don't know, there's still some weird things with it. I don't think it's meant to run on this, but it is, and it worked.
Let's try Fortnite. All right, guys, we're in Fortnite on this. Tongue. So, yeah, we're in Fortnite, running performance mode. We are dropping in. This is the first drop in Fortnite, which normally is the laggiest, so you're probably seeing worst case scenario here. I will say, yeah, look at this. This is the benchmark right here, guys.
If anything's gonna lag, it's the helicopter. Dude, the skipping toilet's actually like terrifying.
It is.
I don't like it.
It's really terrifying. I'm just a tung. Playable. Obviously, Fortnite kind of game you could run on performance mode on a lot of lower end hardware. We're using most of our RAM. The textures, they don't load in great, but we are running, I guess I'll verify the settings. I'm running a little bit lower than usual. I'm running medium view distance and low textures across the board.
Dude, this is a real player. He's like scared.
Oh
God.
I've played this game in forever.
Oh God, don't worry, you're gonna get to re-queue.
No way, baby! We held up,
He pulled it off. Yeah.
Insane work. You won a game and then that happened? That's insane work. Not default player. That was my battle right there. Just took him out. Easy peasy, light work.
I like their name, not a default player. They look pretty default.
Has some default tendencies, I'll be real. But honestly, even though 1% lows below 60, I'm not really feeling any major stutters. There are like a few little hiccups here and there, but it's nothing crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be, you know, let us know down below. What games do you think this PC at 1080p or maybe even like upscaled, you know, with 720p, could this PC not play?
I'm gonna say like Doom wouldn't run well.
Doom shouldn't run at all, right?
Shouldn't run at all.
Because ray tracing?
Ray tracing and the RAM I feel like might be difficult.
But it's okay, dead game. No one plays
Dead game, who plays Doom? Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Another game, dead game.
Maybe Hogwarts Legacy.
Maybe Hogwarts Legacy,
but
I don't know.
I don't know, I mean, I feel like relevant, you know? I think
let me know if you're rocking 8 gigs. Maybe that's the reset we're waiting for. We're waiting for the AI bubble to burst, but what we're really waiting for is these game developers to make their games all run on only 8 gigs to where we need less. But then they could charge us the same amount that we would for 32.
Uh-oh. He hit you. Superman
Superman saved the day by killing Toon Toon Toon. All right, this ran great. We have 3D Mark and CS, just talk about real quickly at the end and some other benchmarks, but $350, 8 gigs of RAM didn't seem to be a problem.
He's got the dance on you.
Drop this video up.
So guys, this build ended up being between $330 to $350 when you count the tax and shipping in, and it is a solid build. It actually looks really nice. Off camera, Jonas said it looks like a $700 build, and that's the best compliment this PC could get. And overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out, and the performance was really good, and even the 8 gig part really, I think, surprised Matt and I. And keep in mind, one more reminder, we did use Windows X Lite, which is just a modified Windows, but it ran great.
It saved us probably on average about 2 gigs of RAM usage just from background tasks being disabled. So if you're running 8 gigs of RAM, you definitely want to go down that route. But if you are running, let's say, standard Windows 11, if you can find a system with like 12 gigs of RAM or 16 would be perfect. But for the most part, we were incredibly surprised with how well 8 gigs worked when the operating system was not holding things back. And we ran one more benchmark and 3D Mark to fully confirm those results. And the benchmark we ran was CS2 at 1080p low settings. We went with an average of 278.4 FPS with a 1% low of 116.
And in 3D Mark Time Spy, we got a total score of 5,898, with the GPU getting a score of 6,039, the CPU getting a score of 5,211, and at $350, that is a 6 cents per point score, which is very solid, as you guys know. That's pretty much what we aim for in 2026 for like a really good price to performance gaming PC.
Now, we mentioned at the beginning of this video, you have a chance to win this PC right here, and you can do so over on twitch.tv/ToastyBros on May 8th, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all the way to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna be playing a bunch of games, hanging out, have a fun time, and you have a chance to enter to win this PC and some other stuff, so be sure to join the Twitch stream, and be sure to follow our Twitch to be up to date on all our streams that we do over there, because we stream way more than just the giveaway stream. We stream there very regularly building PCs.
And the mustache is back, so if you guys want to gift some subs to get it shaved off again, I'm willing, I'm taking subs. But anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other two YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
Now, this PC right here will not be for sale, but it is made possible by PCBros.tech, and that's how we do pretty much all these giveaways.
PCBros.tech, it's our PC selling business. If you don't want to build one, you want to just buy a PC, we got you covered. Use code ToastyBros on checkout. You will save 3% on your next purchase. See you guys later. Goodbye.